going on, you guys? Today we're going to go over inventory system. So we get a ton of messages about what bags we use in our inventory system, as well as the boxes and the racks. So I just wanted to go over today what's worked well for us in our eBay store. We sell mostly clothing on eBay, me and my wife full time. And so we're going to go in the garage today and show you guys sort of exactly how everything works, how our SKU system works, how we've been able to make this thing to where it's impossible to lose items whenever you're trying to pull them on orders. So let's get right into this, and we're going to start in here and then move to the garage. So let's roll. All right, so this is sort of where the inventory process begins. It's actually during photo taking. So whenever we're taking our photos of our items, we bag them on the last photo and take a picture of this SKU and put it in every listing, so that if for some reason the SKU number inside the eBay site gets messed up, we have this photo on the last picture of every item as a backup or a fallback, so that we don't lose that item. And so what happens is these are in numerical order, and I'll understand why there's an A here once we get out to the garage. That will make a lot more sense once we get out there. But for all clothing items that fit in these bags, which are 10 by 13 clear Ziploc bags, we put in these boxes. And we also use 13 by 15 bags for bigger things like maybe not like full-size down jackets and stuff, but some coats and stuff like that. And sometimes in the past we used it for shoes, not anymore. So we sell mostly clothing, we sell shoes, we sell boots, and we also sell things like blazers, which are bigger. So whenever it comes to blazers, we put our blazers in this closet. There's one of our dogs. Put our blazers in this closet, and these are also on the same SKU system. Again, these don't have an A in there. I'll get into that once we get to the garage. But this is on the same SKU numbering system. So we just know that all of our blazers are in this closet, as well as some of these big winter coats, like this big down jacket, North Face jacket. So those go in that closet. Once we run out of space in there, we're gonna have to figure out something to do because we're kind of pushing our limits right now in there. But yeah, so, and then shoes also go in the garage. They don't go in these boxes, like I said, but we'll go out there and we'll check out sort of what's going on out there. Again, these just go in numerical order. And then once this box is full, we just take it out to the garage, and then it goes on the rack. So let's get out to the garage. All right, so this is the garage. It's pretty chaotic right now. It's hard to not be chaotic when you have an eBay store and also a bunch of personal items. We're renovating our house, so there's a bunch of renovation stuff in here too. So what racks do we use? We use the 4 foot by 2 foot racks. They're 72 inches tall, I believe. We got ours on a secondary market on Facebook Marketplace for $50 a piece. Home Depot sells these, as well as I have a link in the description of the video for an Amazon link. And I believe they're the same price as the Home Depot ones. And one thing to note is that they make two different types of these racks. They look the exact same, but one of them, like this one, has this little bracket that holds these two pieces together. And the other one does not use this bracket. It just uses the shelf to clip, like where this connects these two pieces here, it will use these two little things to connect those two pieces, which is not good for our business because then you're forced to put a shelf right here. And as you can see, if we did that, we would not be able to put boxes in that spot. Like these are the shoe bins that we use, which I'll get into in a sec. But on these sections, having a rack right in there in the middle completely removes being able to have 6 rows all the way up. It makes it to where you can only use 5. The other thing to note is that these racks come with 5 shelves. What we had to do was buy an extra rack and then use the rack. So like if you buy one extra rack, you get 5 shelves with it basically. And we would just add it to the other racks that we had so that it would then make up the 6 rows. And so yeah, this is sort of the inventory system. What happens is whenever that box in there gets full, it comes out here and it goes to the next open spot on the shelf. And the way this is set up is that this is our very first item on the very bottom left of the rack on this row. And the numerical SKU system goes obviously back to the box. And then once it gets to the back, it jumps to that box, so on and so forth. So you get all the way to the end. And then on that last box down there, it jumps up to this row. So the system basically goes bottom left, and it goes across, and then up, and then up, and up, and up, all the way till the end of this one. And then once you get to that last box, it does the exact same thing on this side. Starts down there, across, up, 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 so on and so forth. Now, if you're wondering about why we have an A number or an A letter on some of our boxes inside, That's because this was what I used before my wife quit her job and joined me 6 months ago to resell. So what we ended up doing was making a new SKU system because both these sides became full. And I was like, okay, well, we can make a new SKU system and start with A1 and then start it on this side of the garage. And in the future, this whole thing will be boxes. And the reason why we did that was because if you have two people, it's very hard to have two people pulling orders at the same time. But now that we have an A section and then a normal numerical section, we can both be out here pulling the order. So one of us will pull those numbers over there, and then one of us will only pull the A SKUs over here. And then when we go inside, we have two shipping stations where each of us will use our items we pulled and ship the orders. And we don't sell a whole lot of shoes, but this rack here, these bins are just filled with shoes, and it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And so whenever something sells, it just says, F, for example, and then that shoe will be in this bin somewhere. And yeah, so this is great because you can just, whenever a bin gets empty, like I'll list like 20 shoes at a time, come out here with a laptop, and then just skew them and throw them in the bins that are, sort of empty like this one is. So this one's got plenty of room for more inventory. And then I'm going to show you guys what happens once these boxes sort of get half empty. All right, so you might be wondering sort of what happens whenever these boxes get empty, like these two. So these two items have been selling out of them and they're getting kind of empty. So what happens is on one of these rows, whenever we feel like it's time to start moving inventory over so we can get our boxes emptied out so we can reuse them and resupply the racks, we'll come through and we'll start at the bottom. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to pull this one because it's the easiest one to pull and show. But we start at the bottom and we start doing this process where we're going to move all this stuff over in its boxes in the same numerical order. So this is the lower number of the two boxes and these are the higher numbers of the two boxes. So we're basically going to take all of these items in the higher number and then move them in the same numerical order over into this one. And so I move this one all the way over here, move this over here, and then I grab these in chunks and just shift them over. And so now we have an empty box, right? So this can just go wherever, somewhere on the racks later on or wherever you want to store them to be used in the future for the new inventory that needs to come out here. And then this box, this has a little more space, so I would grab the next one and then fill this one as much as I can and then put it right back on the rack, right? So that ends up condensing all of your boxes down to where you no longer have to, worry about buying a ton more boxes or getting rid of them or missing space inside of your inventory system because you have one box filled with two items, right? So you just got to go through, we do it probably once every, 2 to 3 months. We'll come out here and move all this stuff around and just condense it all down to where we can free up some more boxes for new inventory. And so yeah, that's sort of the simplest part of our system. I mean, the nice thing is that whenever we come out here, hold on one second. The nice thing is that whenever we come out here, we just grab an empty box like this, and you've seen on the What Sold videos that we will just use these boxes, fill them up with the orders, take them inside. So it's an easy thing to just carry. And then whenever we package items to ship, we just put the packaged items back in here and take this whole box to the post office. And it's easy to just, have them scan in those items and so on and so forth. So yeah. All right, so that was the storage system that we use. One thing to note that I forgot to mention was that in the summer of this past year, whenever we moved into this house, I did insulate the entire garage and AC control it. So that whole thing is AC controlled. I would not recommend, if you're in a humid climate like we are here in Dallas, Texas, to put clothing in bags and then put it out in a 100-degree garage. Another thing is that the clothing that we sell, on average, we can fit about 20 items per box inside of that system. So 20 items, we probably have almost 200 boxes in there. So I guess we have 150 because we've got 3,000 item store, but we probably have a lot of space left over. But anyways, yeah, 20 items per box. So be calculating that out. If you've got 1,000 item store divided by 20, you need 50 boxes to store all of those items that you have. And then as well as we're going to Cabo in a week for our honeymoon. So got married about 7 months ago. We are now going on our honeymoon for Cabo. I have a video going live so far while we're on that trip. But whenever I get back, I plan to make every video from start to finish, from the second items get into our door to the very end whenever they're being shipped out, and making videos on each one of those processes. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about those, and those will be coming hopefully within the next 30 days. Whenever we get back again from Cabo, that's when we're going to start cranking those out. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video and need or want to see more content like this, like, subscribe, and leave a comment with video ideas if there's any questions you have. If I missed anything in this video, also leave a comment and I will get back to you and answer your question. And sorry if I do miss something that wasn't fully explained well. So have a good day, you guys. Have a good rest of the week. And have a good New Year's.